What's up, you guys? So my Toyota Camry XSE 2019 finally got its first check engine light, and I'm not upset about it. However, this is actually a very common issue from what I researched online, what I found on YouTube with these Toyota Camrys. So if you are watching this, pay attention to this part that's on your motor, so that way, if something does go down and if you guys do get this code, you guys are aware of what you got to do to take care of this. This is a very expensive fix, but if you do it on your own, you're probably going to be spending a couple hundreds. I went with the route of fixing it on my own, and something that I don't understand, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, is that why, if this has been a common problem across a lot of Camrys, why hasn't Toyota, fixed this? And maybe it could come down to it's not something that's dangerous. It can't put anybody in a dangerous situation where, Toyota has to, fix this for everyone, because it's going to be a lot of money. But I'm going to be showing you guys what I did. And if you're watching, you can actually prevent this from happening too, because Toyota says one thing, but then in reality, you should have to be doing a little bit extra more than what Toyota's saying. Okay, so let me show you guys what I broke. Well, I can't say I broke this, but let me show you guys what broke on my Toyota Camry. So I have the part right here. This is actually what came on my Toyota Camry when I bought the car. So I think this is called an electric water pump for this reason, man. And you open this and you just see all this cool tech. So after seeing that new emoji pop up on my dashboard, I was really worried, so I went to my nearest auto parts store and got a free scan. On the report is that my water pump was stuck. So this right here was not spinning. I'm gonna try to spin it right now and I can't spin it. It's just really stuck in there unless I do it like super hard, and then boom, it moves, right? So that's what was going on. And really, to replace this, you guys, all you need to do is just 4 screws that are holding and mounted onto the engine. You see there's 4 holes, so that's all I really had to do. I'm no mechanic, and from what I know is that this actually is like a fan, and it keeps your engine super cool. It keeps your engine in a good temperature, and if this happens and you don't replace it, and if you're driving, it can be bad news for you, and your engine can overheat. It can be a huge problem and be super expensive to fix even later on. Now hear me out, something that may have caused this, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, is that when you're on the go, you're driving these cars, you got places to be. I was just going into my auto parts store buying the coolant that was meant for my car, and it was not a Toyota brand. It was just a coolant that was okay for me to use on my engine. I would just come and just top it off, and when I mean top it off, I would just come here, I would open this and just pour it down here until it was full. Now I think a lot of people does that, and maybe some of you guys watching probably also do this, but it's not really a good thing in my opinion. After doing that, I think that's when I started having this issue. At the same time, I was already due for a coolant flush, so I kind of mixed in the old coolant with brand new one that was not Toyota brand. So when I did do this fix, I went ahead and bought the original Toyota brand coolant. That way everything went smooth. And a lot of people say that these brands are the same, it's the same thing. I just wanted to have an ease of mind and make sure that I did a really good job. If you guys are doing this, that's just something for you guys to really think about. I'm not saying this could be true, I'm just giving you guys my experience on what happened. So a lot of people have like different opinions on how to get this job done. Like if you're a newbie like me and can do the basics, a lot of these people that say on these platforms on online is that they say that you gotta like take this off, you gotta take this belt off, and that's something that I don't even know how to do because I haven't had time to really look into it. But this problem that I have is really just simple. It's just 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are bolted onto the engine. I went inside there, I took my time. There was someone on YouTube that actually said that you could work around it, and they actually removed it. So after seeing that, I was like, man, this isn't that bad. So I went ahead and I worked around it. I mean, it's not gonna be like super comfortable to work around. You do have to be, you know, a little careful. You just have to be patient. You can't get stressed out. Don't work in the sun when doing this, and just take your time. You know, there's no hurry. You want to make sure you do a good job. You guys are probably gonna call me crazy, but the part I replaced it with is actually not from Toyota. I actually bought a part here local, and the difference is that, one, the price. These brand new ones from Toyota, they cost about 300 bucks, and it's just, I feel like it's cheaply made. And the part that I bought local where I live, it's actually got something different, and I'm going to post a photo of the differences. Is that Toyota has these made out of rubber on the inside. Somebody has torn apart these things on YouTube, and they show how the problem is that there's this rubber that's getting stuck, grinding against the inside when it spins. So I was like, you know what, if this is going to break again, why am I going to spend that money on something that was cheaply made or probably just has a defect? So I went ahead, I bought this one that is actually made of stainless steel. When it spins, it's not going to deform, it's not going to get stuck. Stainless steel is amazing, and it's known for doing exceptionally great in stainless steel all the way, right? So I spend a lot less than 300 bucks, and if I'm going to have this problem again, you know, at least I know that, you know, I could always replace it myself. And I'm definitely going to update you guys on this part that I put on my car, because if you guys have this problem, if you guys want to get this, let me know, because Toyota, they don't really care, because now I guess they're making cheap stuff and putting on their car, expecting you to take this to the dealers, I guess. And I don't want to sound like I'm talking negative, but I mean, I think that's just like a money cash grab. Just take it to the dealer, you got to pay like $1,000, $2,000, when really it's actually just a problem with the way they're making things now, or who they're working with to get these parts on their cars. You need to make sure you actually flush the coolant, and that is going underneath the car. You have to buy like a little tube and drain it with a pan. It's a lot of steps. Absolutely worth it, because if you do uninstall this and you do not flush your coolant, by the time you unbolt this, you are going to have just a mess, and all the coolant is going to be just flying out of your engine and going down to wherever you are working. This is actually also connected onto something. I'm going to see if I can show you guys right now. There's actually a connection right there, you know. So there's that connection right there, that's where it's connected to. And when originally it's like this on your car, right? So the connection is just chilling right there, man, and it wasn't that bad. But I'm just impressed with how, you know, this thing is so easy to remove, and yet it can be so expensive. I'm also surprised how there's no part number on these. If you guys enjoyed this video, my channel is all about Camry content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.